hope everybody's doing well out there. Um, and today we're going to be talking about week one, mission four. Week one, mission four is about the social aspects of depression. And so now we've talked about the prison and the three walls that make up the prison of depression. And today we're going to be talking about the third wall. Remember that the first wall was the bio, the second wall was the psycho, and the third wall was the social, right? So the biopsychosocial aspect. And making it fun, just make it like a prison, like if it was a prison in your brain. And these are the three walls that we need to first identify. So then in the later weeks, we're gonna use specific techniques to knock it down. And so the third wall about the social aspect of it. What does that mean? Well, there was a scientist in the UK who actually did a study on this, and he wanted to study depression like they study malaria or other communicable diseases. And what he found out was actually that people that had the diagnosis of depression, 90% of the times, 90%, they had a traumatic event within their lives within that year. And so the social aspects, what's going on around us, is pretty important. And so I'm going to break down for you guys what the social aspect of depression is. And then that way we can start breaking down one by one what the social aspects of depression is. And so we're gonna go to the whiteboard right here, and I'm gonna show you guys. And so again, we're gonna go. We're gonna draw the little guy right here that we've been drawing, and we're gonna draw the four walls. Boom. The three walls. Boom, 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 boom. And then the third wall in the back. And we talked about the different walls now. We talked about the bio, psycho, social. And so bio, psycho, and then social, right? And I'm going to do the little bricks just for fun right here. All right. Right there. Boom. And so we have the biopsychosocial, and in the social aspect, and remember that we got some bars here that we got to knock down later. Let's see if I can little bigger, and I'm gonna draw some bars right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. And then we're going to have the lock. And so how are we going to get this guy out of the prison of depression, right? We talked about biopsychosocial. I'm getting better at these little drawings. And so the biopsychosocial aspect, right? And so in the social aspect, we're going to talk about, if you think about it going outwards as a circle, the first part of the social aspect is your partner, right? And so we're going to talk about intimacy here. And how is that going, right? And so 90% of the people had a traumatic event within their lives in the year of the diagnosis of depression. So we know that divorce and relationship issues are a big part of this. We got to identify this, because if we ignore it, and most doctors are not going to talk about your divorce in their office, but if it's the hardest thing that is affecting you right now, we need to deal with it, and we need to deal in a way that is going to help you and support you through it, right? Or if you're having a really hard time, we need to identify it so that we know the tools that we need to deploy to be able to help you through these. There are tools and specific tactics that you can do to improve your relationships. I've been there, ups and downs with my wife to be, and a lot of things that helped me out was mentors and books and tactics that I've pulled throughout all of these years to be able to make distinctions and develop different habits. And so that's the first part, right? The partners. And then the second part of it is the posterity. And so in the posterity, we're going to put kids. And if you don't have any kids, do you have any mentees? Do you have any students? Do you have any nieces, nephews, somebody who looks up to you? There's somebody who looks up to you. And I'm going to tell you something, I used to have we have a mixed family, and my daughter, I used to struggle with this. And one time I heard a psychiatrist say I was doing a course in the Institute of Integrative Nutrition out of New York City with Joseph Rosenthal. And there was a psychiatrist there speaking to us. And he said, if there is anybody in the crowd who needs a father, I'll be your father. And he said it in a New York accent, I'll be your father, I'll be your father. If you need a father, I'll be your father. But I'll never forget that, because first of all, I realized, of course, my dad got shot when I was 6, so I didn't grow up with a father. And even before that, he was really not present. I later learned in life. But then if this guy as a psychiatrist didn't know anybody in the crowd, and he meant it when he said that, he meant that, I felt that, then I needed to really step up my game with my daughter, and she's not my biological daughter. She's my wife-to-be daughter. But for me, she's my daughter. I raised her as my daughter, and she's my daughter as far as I know. And until I started taking that real responsibility of posterity, that was a stepping into the man who I wanted to be, because you don't feel disconnected. You don't feel disconnected with a role that you've stepped into. And that could be a major problem with depression. If you're not stepping into a role that you're committing to, you're going to feel disconnected, and you're going to have to sedate yourself with alcohol, with drugs, with all kinds of shit to be able to cope with that, because you know in your heart that you're not showing up every day, right? And so that's a big part of it, right? So we have the partner, we have the posterity, and then we have our communities, right? And then in our communities, I'm going to draw just a little circle of people. And, there is a little saying that says that, of course, how big your circle is of your family determines, in a way, the legacy and the caliber. And so for me, it's been an important factor to give back to my community, and I started a nonprofit about 3 years ago. And even though it's been difficult, it's been some of the most rewarding work that I do. And it's amazing. And so doing something for your community is so important, because it gives you chemicals in your brain that make you feel good. There is a built-in wired system that is built in, and so we can exploit that. And then the fourth factor of the social is the environment, right? And I'm talking about the neighborhood, I'm talking about the city. Why is this important, my friends? Is not doesn't take a rocket scientist, right? But if you look at the statistical analysis of the world, the longest longevity, which is not even on the Blue Zone study, which studies how long people live, the people who live the longest are the people from a tiny little country in Europe that has the highest income per capita. So where we are surrounded directly affects our health markers. And so I just wanted to talk about this with you guys today, and the importance of all these three factors: our partners, our posterity, our communities, and our environments. Hugely important. And in the next couple of weeks, we're going to dissect every one of them and give you specific tactics that work. And I know, because I've done it myself. I wouldn't tell you anything that I haven't done myself. All right, everybody. Great talking to all of you. Great seeing you all. Let me know any comments, questions, concerns, and together we can build this course even better. And so I'm loving that you guys are in this journey. All right, until next time, take it easy.